All right, everyone. Hello again. Welcome back. My name is Jason Levine, and I just finished up a masterclass over on Adobe Live, and I was showcasing some of the new updates in Premiere Pro that just released to Creative Cloud this past Tuesday. And there was one particular element of the Auto-Reframe update that tripped me up while I was doing it live for the first time, and of course, 2 seconds afterwards, figured out what I was looking for. So I thought I would take this opportunity to show that to you, so that you don't get lost if you're trying to look for this. And it's about editing the keyframes that Sensei creates when building the Auto-Reframe. What's up, Desiree, coming to us live over there on Twitter Periscope. And thank you all of you for joining me over on YouTube as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut over real quickly. So just take a few quick moments to showcase this to you. And first and foremost, one of the things you're going to notice about this release is that stuff is definitely a lot faster, and there is no exception in the processing of Auto-Reframe. So in this particular clip that I have here from this short film called See You Around, edited by Oren Brimmer, this particular piece is about, what is it, about a minute and 35 seconds-ish, 37 seconds. And previously, if I were running Auto-Reframe on this, it would have taken about 20, 30 seconds to reframe all of the motion and everything happening inside of here. And now it's literally happening, you know, in a third of that or even faster. So we're going to see that in just a second. All right. Now, before we actually do it, I simply just want to play this back for you so you can just see very quickly sort of what's happening and the kind of things that we'd have to do if we were to manually reframe this piece. Let's take a look here just for a second. Here we go.
Hi, yeah, hi. I'd like to get a drink, please.
Okay.
Great. I'd like an elderberry.
Oh, actually, we don't have that.
I've been here before, and I've definitely had it here, so you.
Okay, so again, Auto-Reframe, what it does is leveraging Adobe Sensei, it's going to look at all of the motion in your clips. It's going to look at faces. It's going to look at region of interest, and it's going to try and reframe those for you based on whatever frame size aspect ratio you choose. So to do that without having to do it manually, this particular sequence is called Essential Sound Panel Before. I'm going to select it from my project panel up here, right click, and simply choose Auto-Reframe Sequence like this. And when I do that, it pulls up this box for you here, okay, where you've got a couple of options. First and foremost, give it a name. So I'm just going to leave the name as it is. Choose your target aspect ratio. So we can choose square or vertical 4:5, vertical 9:16, horizontal, or custom. Remember, if you put in custom, this is where you can type in your own aspect ratio. We were just doing vertical 9:16, so let's go to square for this one. Got a couple of your motion tracking presets. Again, nothing new here, same thing. The motion in this is fairly slow. I typically use the defaults here. And then if you already had motion keyframes on clips, right? If you shot 8K, you're reframing for 4K, you've already done some recomposition there, and you want to preserve that, but now you're going from, 4K 16:9 to 4K square. If you want to keep those adjustments, you're going to choose to nest the clips. If you don't need to keep those adjustments, the default is don't nest clips, and that's what most of us are doing, again, unless you've already applied motion keyframes to something. If you keep it at this default and you apply Auto-Reframe, it's going to eliminate any motion keyframes that you already created on that associated clip. So if you want to keep them, you want to choose the nesting option. For this, we're going to choose Don't Nest, and we're simply going to click Create. And what you'll see now, if I zoom in down below, all right, remember I told you it was about 30 seconds before, all right, we're not even at 10 seconds, and it's done, just like that, okay? And right away, you can see, again, what's so cool about this, here's our original. Notice that he's, again, sort of, in the right third of the frame, and it knows, place that right in the center, all right? So play this back. You can see how it follows the motion, right? As we moved over to our bartender and adjusted focus, it placed her right dead center. And then as he lifts his beer here, it even does a move to put him back into the frame because there's motion happening there, right? Look at the original here. Let's turn off that lower third. Don't need to see that. Right? So there's the original Got a lot of stuff happening over on the left side, but Auto-Reframe and Sensei just kind of figured out where that motion needed to be. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so in this particular part of the scene here, let me go to my audio track mixer here, bring the audio back up. So what's interesting here is, again, if we look at the original, he moves over, camera follows him, and then Oren Brimmer, this is actually the director, kind of jumps in and interrupts him and starts talking. All right, oh, I don't have the audio up on this, sorry.
Hi, yeah, hi. I'd like.
All right. Sensei detected that. So it follows our main character here, even as we're momentarily obscured by the back of the bartender. He opens his mouth, but then as the director comes in,
Hi, yeah, hi. I'd like to get it.
The camera moves over to him. The camera movement is actually keyframes created by Sensei. All right? Awesome. All right. Now, where I got tripped up a moment ago is that all of these keyframes are editable. Okay. But in this latest release, we've changed where you access those editable keyframes. So if we wanted it to, say, pivot to him a little bit sooner, right? Because it kind of gets there right at the end of the clip.
I'd like to get a drink, please. I'd like to get a drink, please. I'd like to get a drink, please.
It really preserved that stink eye look, though, so nicely. All right. If we wanted to adjust those, let's go up to the effects controls. Okay. Now, what you'll see, this is new. You used to simply see the keyframes appear here next to motion. Now it shows that motion has been disabled, and it tells you that motion is disabled when Auto-Reframe is applied, and then Auto-Reframe is down here. But I don't see any keyframes. Meh? What? Okay. And again, in my haste, I didn't see that now there is a new button here to edit the keyframes. All right. So when you click on Edit Keyframes, now it is showing you all of the various motion keyframes for this particular clip. All right. So if we wanted it to, again, move
I'd like
to his position slightly faster than it did,
I'd like to get a drink. I'd like.
right? This is kind of where we want to be. You can see he kind of slides into position, but maybe we want that to happen a little faster. Well, I could just eliminate these two keyframes right here, move this one over so that it happens a little bit sooner.
I'd like to. Yeah, hi. I'd like to get a drink, please. Hi. I'd like to get a drink, please. I'd like to get a.
All right. And now we've just adjusted the speed of those keyframes. But that's where they're edited now. And just 20 minutes ago, I was like, well, where did it go? My eye just I wasn't reading. I wasn't looking. So that's where it is now. Now, another really cool thing that we've added, which is just worth pointing out, this isn't necessarily related to Auto-Reframe, but it is related to the effects controls, is we now have effects controls filtering. So let's just say, for the heck of it, that I'm just going to apply some color to this. Again, not trying to do color correction, just trying to make some changes. All right, let's just desaturate here. That's fine. And let's add, while I'm at it, I'm just going to add another effect. Let's just do a blur. Okay, not that I want blur. I'm just, you'll see what I'm getting at in a second here. Okay, add some blur, and then I'm going to add some Gaussian blur. I'm not going to change those though. Okay, so again, what starts to happen inside of your effects controls panel is that, especially, you know, if we start looking at Lumetri and the things that I've adjusted here, maybe I've done some stuff to the highlights, maybe we'll kind of push those up a little. Maybe we'll drop the contrast even more, bring up the shadows, add a little bit of saturation. So we're modifying all these parameters, and Lumetri is so big, so you have the LUT applied here, and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. What if I just want to see things that I've edited? I don't want to have to scroll through all of this. I just want to see stuff that I've made changes to. Well, now, at the bottom of the effects controls, you have filter properties. So here I can now choose to show all properties, show only keyframed properties, or show only edited properties. So if we look at keyframed properties, go back up, guess what? What did we keyframe? Okay. Only auto-reframe. So that's all we see. Look at how clean this is now. It's like there's nothing there, okay? Or I can say show only edited properties. So let's go ahead and go to that. So of course we see our edited keyframes, but now look at this. I edited contrast, highlights, and shadows. Where's white balance? Where's black level? Where's exposure? They're not here because I didn't edit them. This is awesome. And by the way, notice fast blur, Gaussian blur, they still show up as effects. I don't see any of the controls though, because I didn't edit those parameters. So this stuff, this little filtering option here is so useful. And really, it's just it just kind of changes the way you think about editing, because it just cleans up the whole interface and just makes it so much easier to target things that you've made changes to. All right. So the key important things that have changed here. Auto-Reframe is significantly faster than before. When you want to edit the keyframes for Auto-Keyframe, it no longer happens in the motion section. Now it happens right here via this edit keyframe button it's in the same location, but it's now under the Auto-Reframe effect. All right, before it appeared under motion, now it appears here specifically because it is effectively applying it clip to clip, right? Remember that you don't have to only apply Auto-Reframe to a sequence, you can apply it to a single clip as well, all right? And that's it, everyone. Just a really quick live stream to talk about some of the new changes to Auto-Reframe and the new filtering properties in the effects controls. So until next week, we'll be back streaming on all the regular properties, Adobe Live, Behance, YouTube, Facebook, and of course, Twitter, Periscope. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we'll see you again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.